Hello, my name is Esther and welcome to Slim Cat Munchies. Today I am roasting a chicken, Garlicy Harissa roasted chicken and potatoes. This chicken has been eyeing me from the freezer every time I open it for the past month, and today is its day. So let's have a peek at it. It was very inexpensive, and I believe this chicken has been through some things in production, but here it is. It's a 6.25 pound chicken, fryer chicken, and it was frozen. I thawed it yesterday, rinsed it and patted it dry, and left it uncovered, well, patted it thoroughly dry with copious amounts of paper towels. Then I let it sit uncovered in the bottom of my refrigerator overnight to let the skin somewhat dry out so that it will aid in crisping as it roasts. But first, and also, I worked my fingers under the skin, just like this, to make little pockets in which we will put our garlic and harissa paste. So, let's get to it. I'm going to put this aside. And we will make our paste with my chickeny fingers, which I will wash directly after this. Okay, so in this bowl, I have, see the vibrant orange grease? Delicious. It's actually olive oil and peppers, and it has a delicious smoky flavor. I'm going to start with 4 tablespoons of prepared harissa, and to that I'm going to add 8 cloves. Yes, 8 cloves of fresh garlic, as well as the zest and juice of a lemon. This happens to be a Meyer lemon, and I have reserved the rinds to go inside of our bird as it roasts, and they're right over there. I'm also going to add 4 teaspoons of salt. It's a 6-pound chicken. It's going to need its salt, and that harissa does not have a lot of salt. And then in here is a teaspoon of ground black pepper, and then a teaspoon of ground grains of paradise, or you could substitute with black pepper, so it could be 2 teaspoons of black pepper going in. And then I have about roughly 2 teaspoons of fresh thyme leaves that is going to go in there as well. And I'm going to stir this up until it's nicely incorporated and makes a loose paste. Get all of the things together, and we will fetch our chicken again and apply it. All right. The chicken. So I'm just going to go in with my hands, and it's going to be messy, but it'll be all right. I'll wash up, and I'm going to remove my ring. Okay. In fact, I think I'm going to put this little bowl right in here next to my chicken so I don't get the red grease going everywhere. But I'm going to take about half of my loose paste and put it under the skin and work it down all around the meat. And like I say, this chicken has been through some things, so some of it will start popping through some little holes in its skin, but it's okay. And we're just gonna smush it down in there so that it gets all over the breast meat and even down around the thighs. If you just work your hands, you can loosen that skin a little bit and get it down around the drumsticks and the thighs and around the meat. I'm just evenly, or as evenly as I can, distributing it on either side. Pushing it down into the spaces around the meat. And on the thigh on this side as well. And I'm making quite a mess, and it'll all be okay. I've got a piece of parchment paper down here so that the skin doesn't stick as it roasts. If I failed to say that, I'm sorry. And I'm going to put a little bit of this paste inside the cavity as well. All around. We want all the seasonings. And then I'm just going to give it a quick mush all over. I've got my little wings tucked behind. Like it's got its hands behind its head. And then, now that I've got this side pretty well lubed up, I'm going to turn it over so that the breast side is down. And zhuzh the rest of this paste all over the back. All right. Now that that's liberally coated with our brilliant red paste, I am going to stick this in a preheated 350-degree oven for the first half of its cooking time, 1 hour. And this is 20 minutes per pound, and this is a 6 1/4 pound bird, so the cooking time will be 2 hours and 5 minutes. But this is just the first half. It's going to go in breast side down so that all those juices collect in the breast area, in the light meat, so that they remain nice and juicy. And halfway through, we will flip it. But yes, into the oven it will go, and I will pause it and we'll be back. And here we are. I have retrieved our chicken from the oven, and first I must confess that in my haste to wash my hands and sanitize all the surfaces, I completely failed to put the squeezed lemon rinds and a small handful of thyme into the cavity before I turned the video off. So just know that there are 2 lemon halves that have been squeezed into our paste that we made earlier that are inside of there with a small handful of thyme. And now that it's out at halftime, I'm going to remove our chicken to a clean platter over here so that we can assess our parchment paper and the amount of oil we have going in the pan, which will lubricate our potatoes that will be going in. And I'm going to carefully, very carefully, so as not to rip the skin, move our chicken to the platter. All right. I believe it's undisturbed. And I'm just going to use my tongs to take my piece of parchment paper off with some brown bits that might get a little bit too brown if we left them in there. So I'm going to take our parchment paper out and leave some of that luscious red oil, just enough to coat our potatoes, and take the rest of it away. Have a bowl standing by over here. Okay. All right. So there's our little bit of oil. I'd say probably about 2 tablespoons of that luscious red oil and chicken juice over there. And I am going to add about 3 pounds of these assorted fingerling potatoes that my husband picked up so kindly. But you could also use Yukon Gold potatoes cut into wedges, or sweet potatoes even would be nice. That extra orange color with the already orange color might be fun. So these are gonna go in. And I'm just gonna dash them about in that oil to coat all the sides. And then we will make a nest, a little empty place in the center in which to put our bird back in. And this time when we put our bird in, we're going to put it breast side up so it can attain a nicely crisp skin on the top. So there those go. It's a little tossed. I'm just making sure all the sides have a little bit of oil on them so that they'll roast up nicely. All right, I'm making a little space in the center for our chicken to go back in, breast side up. Well, get a little bit evenly in here. Okay, there we go. All right. Let's see how I can do this without making a mess. I'm gonna use my hand. Okay. And then I'm just gonna sit him down and turn him over. There he goes. He's already nicely browned. And there's a little bit of juices left on the platter, and I'm just gonna drizzle those over our potatoes. All right. Get a paper towel, wipe my hand off. All right. And it's gonna go back in, and it's already kind of nicely browned on the top, so I might add a little cap of foil so that it doesn't get too brown. You can see the thyme and the lemon peeking out right there. But yes, so it's gonna go back in with a little foil cap for another hour and 5 minutes, and I'll see you then. All right, our lovely chicken is nicely browned. It's been retrieved from the oven. I'm just going to let it rest for 15 minutes, and we'll be back to dive in. All right, the time has come. Let's retrieve our chicken, and I'm going to move it to this cutting board for carving. Might get a potato or two on the way. There we go. No potatoes. Great. All right, I'm going to move this back so we can assess said potatoes for just a moment and see if they have need of salt. Let's see here. I'm just going to cut a little piece off of one. Let's see. Don't touch the pan. That's too. Okay. Quite warm. And yes, I do need just the slightest touch of salt. Our salty paste was smeared all over our chicken, not necessarily the potatoes. So let's salt those up, make them taste their best. I'm just going to toss those with a few tablespoons of roughly chopped parsley. Parsley potatoes. It's a thing from my childhood, I think. I just really like parsley and potatoes together. I'm just going to stir those around. It's so pretty with the red oils and the green herbaceousness all over them. That looks pretty. All right, let's carve into our chicken. I tend to like to leave my chicken somewhat whole and just cut off what I'm going to be having. And looky here, I'm learning. I'm going to get these gloves out to do this. Why I didn't get the gloves out earlier when I was slathering it with paste, I don't know. Welcome to my world. All right, so my first cut is going to be along one side of this breastbone here. And I'm just going to follow it down and cut off one of the breasts and remove it from the carcass. Ooh, and that's still pretty hot, although the gloves are offering a little bit of protection. I'm just going to cut around it along the bottom and release it on the inside. Ooh, so hot. All right. Okay. There's one. I'm just going to cut a little serving for us to try. Leave the rest as a happy surprise for my husband when he gets home from work. Oh wow, check out the paste under the skin. Okay, let's plate it up. I'm gonna put just a couple pieces on my plate over here. There we are. Save that for him for later. Push that back. We'll get a few potatoes. These little fingerling potatoes are super cute to me. Alright, there we are. Let's give this meat a try. Garlicy Harissa roasted chicken. Here we go. Oh my. That turned out very nicely. My little parsley potatoes, fingerling potatoes to go with it. Is roasted chicken not the most wonderful comfort food? I think so. This harissa has a delightful smoky note along with the very mild chilies. And the garlic, oh, it sings when it's roasted. Well, I hope however you decide to flavor or season up your chicken, you enjoy it immensely. Have some chicken and potatoes for me. And peace and love to you all. The recipe will be in the description below as always. Bye-bye.